More than 1.5 million Americans are diagnosed with lupus. That's the autoimmune disease which causes the body to attack healthy tissues, which leads to debilitating pain as well as inflammation.
Yeah, women are 9 times more likely to suffer from lupus than men, and African American women are 3 times more likely to die from it, which is why I'm taking part in tomorrow's Walk to End Lupus Now at the South Street Seaport. I'm so honored to be the host at this year's event, where I'm going to get to meet people from all walks of life with wonderful stories of survival, just like our next guest, Shawtae Thompson, who has been living with lupus now for 10 years, and Sarah Katz, who actually started the Walk to End Lupus Now here in New York. Shawtae, Sarah, good morning, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
It's great to see you both. Shawtae, let's start with you, since you are a true lupus warrior. Can you share a bit about your story and your journey with us, and what it's like to live with this disease and what led to your diagnosis?
So I was diagnosed 10 years ago on June 25th, 2012. One day I woke up and my vision was distorted, but I continued on with my day. The next day I woke up with a high fever, so I went over to my optometrist, who sent me to the ER because I was hemorrhaging behind my eyes. So that ER visit led to a 3-month stay at the hospital. I was diagnosed quickly compared to others. 2 weeks after I was diagnosed, I started hemorrhaging in my lungs, which led the doctors to intubate me or put me in an induced coma for 8 days.
Wow.
Throughout my 10-year journey, I've gone through treatments like plasmapheresis, high doses of steroids, chemotherapy, and currently I take 7 different medications to keep my lupus at bay. Living with lupus is a daily struggle. Most of the time I wake up with stiff joints. I'm very fatigued, but you just have to push through. It's hard for people to understand us because the symptoms aren't visible.
Yeah.
It's called the invisible disease, so it's very hard.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you went to the doctor when you felt like something was a little off. Sarah, you don't have lupus, but you did lose someone very near and dear to the disease, which prompted you to kind of form this whole event that's happening tomorrow that Vanessa is going to be the MC of. So tell us how it all came about.
Absolutely. My brother, Michael Barlin, was diagnosed with lupus at the age of 15. And after battling this terrible disease in so many ways for 10 years, he ultimately passed away in 2006. Of course, I was devastated and knew I had to do something to honor and remember my wonderful brother, and also bring awareness to lupus and how it affects others. Soon after, I was introduced to the Lupus Foundation of America and teamed up with 3 other women, Fran, Lenore, and Rashida, to start the Walk to End Lupus Now in New York City. And that was the first year that we walked as Team Michael.
Sarah, what an incredible way to continue to lift up your brother's legacy. And it's incredible that you guys are celebrating 15 years. I mean, just incredible work. Shawtae, want to talk to you about what it's like to live in your shoes, and especially over the last 2 years, right? We've dealt with the COVID pandemic, the rise in monkeypox, polio cases, all while you are living with lupus. What has that fight been like?
It's scary, being that I'm on so many meds. I have a weakened immune system, so it's very hard for me to fight off infections and diseases. I remember, like, my first year with lupus, I caught a cold from someone. Now, this person got rid of their cold in like 2-3 days, but it took me 5 weeks to get rid of it.
Wow.
So during these trying times we're living in, I make sure I wear my mask, I wash my hands thoroughly, and I try to stay away from large crowds just to be safe.
You know, do you suffer from lupus flare-ups? You know, is that a thing? How often do they flare up if it does, and how long does it take to, say, recover?
So I only had that one big flare when I was in the hospital for the 3 months. After that, I had one flare where I had pneumonia, and that was it. I don't get them often just because I wake up every day with stiff joints. So I wouldn't consider that a flare. I would just say it's just the daily struggle living with lupus.
Right, and never really knowing what you're going to get day by day. Sarah, obviously we mentioned you do not have lupus. We mentioned your intimate knowledge of being a family member of someone who does. How does that impact the family when your loved one is not well?
A lupus diagnosis affects the whole family and close friends and loved ones. Those affected by lupus need constant care and assistance. monitoring doctor's appointments, drugs, treatments, flare-ups. you know, it's a constant battle, and that's why we're fortunate for the LFA and the services it provides.
You know, and tomorrow's walk, can you provide some of the details for the walk with everybody? What time do the festivities begin? How long is it? And is it too late to sign up?
No, you can sign up. Absolutely. The Walk to End Lupus Now is Saturday morning at the Seaport District, Pier 16 and 17. Check-in begins at 8:30, followed by pre-show entertainment with a great DJ, warm-ups, performances, and special guests, a ceremony, and then the walk kicks off at 10 a.m. It's a 2.4-mile route around downtown New York City, and it's very easy to sign up at www.lupus.org/NYC, where you can also see the list of our great sponsors.
Yeah, it's going to be a spectacular day. Sarah, Shantae, thank you so much for being with us this morning. I can't wait to meet you in person, the entire team. So I do encourage everyone to join me and everybody else tomorrow morning at the South Street Seaport. The sun will be shining. We'll be talking about unity. We'll be together and experiencing this powerful walk to end lupus now.
There you go.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Right.